What's happening, Daredevil fans? In this video, Phil marks out about Daredevil Born Again Episode 3. Let's get into it. Disclaimer, there will be spoilers ahead as this is somewhat of a recap video as well, and it should be noted that in my last video, Episodes 1 and 2 reviews, I recorded before I realized that BB Reports was BB Ulrich, Ben's daughter, so there's that too.
Alright, hang in there. Like I said, first step in the long process.
The episode starts off by Murdock bringing Hector food, and they talk about birds. Murdock promises Hector he'll make sure that he's free and back with his family, which is a heavy promise to make. The opening titles go down, we come back, and two truck drivers are being hijacked and murdered, but not after asking, do you know whose truck this is? Presumably Fisk's. More BB reports, Fisk and Vanessa are still distant, like literally separated by like a 10-foot table. Fisk is informed of the murders at the Red Hook port. Vanessa says there's no head of the table, shout out Roman Reigns, so criminals will turn on criminals and eventually them. And Fisk says they're rats, so fuck 'em, more or less. Murdock is in a bathroom, and this rival officer calls Murdock out for being a blind lawyer who can fight, and the tension is high. This, of course, being an officer set to take the stand after what happened in the train station with Hector. We see Cherry go to a trap house, and outside we see a Punisher logo graffiti with the word trigger draped over it. Yep, they're doing it. The Punisher's logo and his followers are gonna be all like, F woke people, bro. Everyone's an SJW, man. And that's cringe if they take it that far. I watch this shit to forget about the real world and not be reminded of it. We move along. We're back in court. The officer who was involved in the Hector arrest is on the stand. Murdock can tell who's lying and who isn't and calls the officer out for being dirty in front of everyone essentially by lying about Nikki Torres. And we see the Punisher logo on all the dirty cops thus far. So yeah, I hope Frank Castle's endgame is taking the symbol back and not discarding it like in the comics. He might as well shoot people with hug guns and kiss arrows for Christ's sakes. Anyhow, the cop who was on the stand is now pulling over and arresting Cherry, who is on his way to the courts with a witness they've summoned, Nikki Torres. Cherry swerves them and Nikki Torres takes the stand. Nikki Torres doesn't testify in the way Murdock hoped though, and Torres is withdrawn as a witness. There's a meetup under a bridge with some British dudes. One of them is told he owes Victor $1.8 million. The main British dude connected to Fisk isn't really connected to Fisk. He says he doesn't work for the mayor, he works for the Mon. Murdock and friends search for another witness. Fisk tells Vanessa to fess up about something. She reveals that she sent the British dude to meet up under the bridge. Fisk says, don't break my fucking trust again. Let chaos reign to build a stronger order. Vanessa says, you're punishing me for Adam. Poor Adam. The therapist girlfriend lady walks in and we move along. The next day at court, Murdock talks to Hector on the stand, and I must say I am loving the courtroom drama stuff.
I'm here.
Hector said he put a deposit on his new home and that's why he was at the train station last episode. He tells his side of the story, says Nikki Torres was getting beat up, the crowd reacts, the story continues. Although the crowd reacted, it doesn't do much for the case, and in an act of desperation, Murdock stooges that Ayala is in fact the White Tiger, and the court erupts again. The judge freaks out and Murdock just flipped this whole shit on its ear. If you remember in the last episode, the judge said that all mention of White Tiger was to be dismissed, and because Murdock brought this out of nowhere, the judge says he can't do a mistrial and it's open season on Murdock's client. Hector is mad at Murdock, but he understands. Murdock tells Hector if he's acquitted, he can't ever put the White Tiger suit on again. Hector says the White Tiger chose him and not the other way around, which is something obviously Murdock can relate to. It's a way of life. Back in court, people are telling their White Tiger hero stories and how he saved so many lives. They even have police reports of the dirty cops themselves talking about how helpful the White Tiger has been. The Hawk, asshole lawyer guy, then tries to convince everyone Hector is a murderer and says the last time he checked, real heroes don't need to hide with a mask. The jury finds Hector not guilty on all charges. Fisk wants to see BB again, and Murdock is on a date with the therapist lady once more. Fisk talks to BB about how a masked vigilante is allowed to walk free while a cop is dead. It cuts to Hector, who is now a free man, and the very first thing this guy's doing is dressing up as the White Tiger to hit the streets and fight crime.
Ow, kid, you bad kid! Ow, kid!
That's when out of nowhere, White Tiger is shot in the head execution style in Minecraft, YouTube. And that's the end of the White Tiger. Kingpin says justice will prevail and the assassin walks off with his face completely darkened out, but he has a shoddy Punisher symbol painted on his chest. The end credits roll, I'm confused as shit and thirsting for more. So let's get into my overall thoughts. Again, there's a lot of rushing things in this series so far, but I do feel as though it's intentional, and the death of Hector indicates indicates a clear direction in mind. What's about to come down the line is going to be even more intense and shocking, and I look forward to that very much. I don't believe the person we saw shoot Hector was Frank Castle. I think it's more of these villains and dirty cops we're seeing adopt the symbol as their own, and Frank will show up to kick all these guys' asses sooner or later, I hope. I'm really shocked with this ending because I thought we'd be getting White Tiger and Daredevil team up and fighting against each other moments where Hector discovers Murdock is Double D and all of that fun stuff, but I guess not, and I really can't help but think if this is what happened to White Tiger, what's gonna happen to Adam? I really can't wait for episode 4 and what else this series will entail, especially when we're just dusting off characters like nothing already. Phil marks out when you hit the like and subscribe button, so do that, and I'll see you all back here for my review of Daredevil Born Again, episode 4.